Vice President Sara Duterte went to the House of Representatives on Thursday night, November 21, to visit her Chief of Staff, Undersecretary Zuleika Lopez, according to House Secretary General Reginald Velasco. Velasco tells reporters on Friday, November 22, that Duterte stayed with Lopez until the end of visiting hours at 10 p.m. on Thursday. He adds that the Vice President eventually spent the night in the office of her brother, Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte. On Wednesday, November 20, the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability cited Lopez for contempt as lawmakers found her committing undue interference in the panel's hearings. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro moved to hold Lopez in contempt due to the OVP official's letter to the Commission on Audit, where Lopez asked the agency to refrain from giving the House its audit observations on the confidential funds expenses of the OVP. Castro believes that Lopez and the OVP were ordering COA, which would prevent the House from scrutinizing the OVP's transactions using public money. Other committee members expressed frustration over Lopez's claim that she was not privy to key matters in the OVP, including the use of confidential funds, despite being Duterte's most senior aide. Lopez is currently detained at the House premises and will stay there until the next committee hearing on Monday, November 25. The House panel is probing into how the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education utilized public funds under Duterte's watch amid allegations of misuse. Duterte only attended one hearing where she refused to take the truth-telling oath and promptly left after reading a prepared statement from her mobile phone. House Speaker Martin Romualdez on Thursday urged Duterte to show up at the House probe into her office's fund if she feels bad about her personnel having to answer questions on confidential fund expenses. The United States Department of Defense confirms that American troops are supporting Philippine operations in the West Philippine Sea through the U.S. Task Force Ayungin, whose existence only came to light when U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III mentioned it on social media. In an email exchange with the Inquirer on Thursday, November 21, Pentagon spokesperson Major Pete Nguyen says the task force was composed of U.S. forces providing the Philippines with enhanced cooperation and interoperability for their maritime operations. He says this support includes planning and training with Philippines Western Command for systems provided through U.S. security assistance. He adds the task force is a continuation of the long-standing relationship in support of shared security interests between the U.S. and the Philippines. National Security Advisor Secretary Eduardo Año on Thursday says the U.S. has no direct participation in Ayungin resupply missions, adding that American forces provide support for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, among others. Meanwhile, the Armed Forces of the Philippines says U.S. troops in Palawan provide technical assistance through the information sharing group within the Command and Control Fusion Center at the Westcom headquarters. According to the AFP, the support of U.S. troops enhances the Philippines' capability in maritime domain awareness. In a post on X on Tuesday, November 19, Austin said he met with members of the task force during a visit to Palawan province and thanked them for their hard work on behalf of the American people and its alliances and partnerships in the region. Ayungin, a low-elevation feature some 200 kilometers off mainland Palawan, is guarded by a Philippine military outpost on the grounded World War II vessel BRP Sierra Madre. Philippine resupply missions to Ayungin have been repeatedly harassed by Chinese vessels that swarm the disputed waters as Beijing asserts its claim over the South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea. However, a 2016 international tribunal ruling invalidated China's claim and affirmed the Philippines' exclusive sovereign rights over the West Philippine Sea. Former Interior Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos is moving to dismiss the mischief complaint filed against him by former President Rodrigo Duterte over the operation in the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City, which led to the arrest of fugitive Apollo Kibuloy. In his counter-affidavit filed before the Department of Justice on Friday, November 22, Abalos tags Duterte's allegations as baseless. Abalos says he stands by the operation in KJC, maintaining that the police made the right call in conducting the operation. According to Abalos, he already expected complaints to be filed against him, brushing it off as a mere part of the job. On August 24, around 2,000 members of the Philippine National Police raided the 30-hectare KJC compound to serve the arrest warrant against Kibuloy. Kibuloy was then arrested on September 8, surrendering to police after a 24-hour ultimatum was placed upon him. The televangelist is currently facing child abuse and human trafficking cases before the Quezon City and Pasig City courts, as well as several criminal charges in the U.S., including sex trafficking, among others. Duterte previously condemned the supposed excessive and unnecessary force allegedly implemented by the police in serving the arrest warrant against Kibuloy. In March, Kibuloy named Duterte the administrator of KJC Properties. On August 6, the Court of Appeals granted a petition by the Anti-Money Laundering Council to freeze the pastor's bank accounts, real estate properties including the KJC compound, and other assets after it found merit in cases filed against Kibuloy.